Every business has some security in place. Antivirus, a firewall, multi-factor authentication, that sort of thing. And that's all worth having. But the real question isn't whether you've got the tools, it's whether all of it is actually working together to keep you safe. Because having the tools and having the tools work together are two very different things. The best way to explain what we mean is probably to look at a car. Think back to car safety 30 or 40 years ago. The big feature was the seatbelt. You fitted a seatbelt and you'd more or less done your bit. And for that time, fair enough. But think about what a seatbelt actually does. It protects you in a crash. It doesn't stop the crash happening. It essentially waits for the worst and then limits the damage. So it's reactive. Now that doesn't make it any less vital. If you have an accident, you want that seatbelt. But on its own, it isn't what makes a car safe today. And antivirus really is the seatbelt of cybersecurity. Essentially, you'd never go without it, but like a seatbelt, it's mostly reactive. It deals with the threat once it's already reached you. And none of us today would call a car safe if a seatbelt was all it had, because safety moved on. So here's what changed. Modern car safety is proactive. Most of what protects you now is working to stop the crash happening in the first place, rather than just softening it once it does. And cybersecurity has moved the exact same way. The layers that matter most today are the ones stopping the attack before it lands, rather than the ones cleaning up afterwards. Now you've still got your reactive layers, and you want them. Your firewall's a bit like airbags, there for when the impact's already coming. But look at what modern cars added on top, because nearly all of it is proactive, and it comes down to three things. Stability control steps in the moment things start to go wrong, before it ever becomes a crash. That's your endpoint protection. Something suspicious starts on a device and it acts right then. Blind spot alerts warn you about the danger you can't see before you pull into it. That's your email security, catching the threat before it reaches your people. And email, as we all know, is where most attacks start. And the immobilizer. No right key, the car doesn't move. Simple as that. That's your multi-factor authentication. No right credentials, no way in, and it doesn't matter whether they stole the password, guessed it, or bought it. So that's the shift, from waiting for the crash to preventing it, from cleaning up an attack to stopping it landing. But here's the thing that really matters. Not one of those features is the answer on its own. What makes a modern car safe, generally, is that they all work together, and that there's a capable driver behind the wheel. A pile of clever gadgets that don't talk to each other with nobody paying attention isn't a safety system, it just feels like one. And security is exactly the same. The value was never in owning the tools, it's in having them work as one, and in having someone actually watching. And there's a real upside to getting this right. You're properly protected, you've got fewer gaps, and because insurers now tend to price your cover on the layers you run, you might well pay a bit less to insure it too. Good security, generally, pays for itself. So the honest question was never whether you've got the tools. It's whether they're joined up, and who's keeping an eye on them. Because we all want the same thing, really. To know that when it matters, the protection holds.